Hey there, soul sister. Are you feeling it? Everything you once thought was solid is crumbling. The foundation you built your life on seems to be falling apart, and it's leaving you wondering, what the heck is next? But here's the truth. This isn't the end. It is the beginning. The universe is clearing the old to make space for your transformation, for your highest evolution. I've been having people come to me left and right these last few days, weeks, months. As a transformational guide, I've seen many people in my life, friends, family, guess what? Even me when I look in the mirror, going through deep shifts, ending relationships, questioning careers, feeling their inner world changing in ways they've never felt before. It is super uncomfortable. It's messy, but it's the process of shedding what no longer serves you so you can step up into your truly authentic power. If you're ready to trust the process, let go of what's not serving you, and embrace the transformation that is unfolding, you want to get out of that cocoon and begin that emergence into the transformation that you know is waiting for you, then go ahead and grab your cuppa because this episode is coming in hot.
Welcome to Sip Tea with me. I'm your host, Lisa Schoenthal. Think of me as that fun and inspirational auntie or sister you always wish you'd had. This is the space where we hang out, brew up meaningful conversations about health, wealth, relationships, and travel, because life is too short not to live with purpose, passion, and abundance. If you're ready to chase your dreams, find your balance, and make a massive impact, you're at the right table. I'll be sharing real stories, life hacks, and epic wisdom to keep you mindful, energized, and connected. It's all about inspiring and empowering you. So grab your favorite cuppa as we spill the tea on how to create a life that's transformational, empowering, and authentically you, 100%. Let's drink to that and get started.
Welcome back to Sip Tea with me. I'm your hostess, Lisa, and I'm so happy to be here with you again. It's been an interesting time. We're living in an interesting time. If we chose to come to the planet during this time, we've signed up for a really big task. And a lot of us are healers and light workers and just here for all of it. And that means that a lot of us are feeling it. I don't really know how to describe it, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this episode, but I know you're feeling it. Things that we thought were solid are starting to fall away. Relationships, jobs, beliefs, habits that once felt like your foundation are no longer fulfilling your soul. They're not really feeling quite right within us anymore. There's a part of us that's sort of bubbling up that is actually, it feels like we're mourning the past a little bit, and we're aware that there's a really amazing future coming, but we're sort of just sitting in that wishy-washy in the middle part that feels like, maybe even feels like we're going backwards, but it's really everything falling into a place. It's the alignment beginning to happen. It's your frequency beginning to come in tune with more higher frequencies, or frequencies that feel more wonderful. I don't really know how to explain it. It's a hard thing to talk about, but I'm going to just jump in and we'll see what comes up. So right now, like I said, it's just hard to make sense of it all. But what if I told you that this unraveling is actually part of our biggest spiritual evolution? Yours individually, mine individually, and all of us as a collective humanity, maybe even beyond our own earth world. So what inspired me was this week I've been inspired by some of my closest friends who are really growing through it. They're ending long-term relationships, questioning their careers, going inward in ways they've never done before. And they're feeling like what they're describing as the shallow depths of depression they've never experienced before. These aren't people with any level of depression. It just is like they're feeling sleepy and like they want to just stay at home and they don't want to be social and they're a little bit melancholy or down. And I know I've been through this too. Some of them are even disconnecting from their family. Experienced some of this myself, like over the Easter holiday, of just some aha moments. Because what happened was I was realizing truths that are hard to accept, and so are you, it's likely. It's a heavy, heavy feeling. It's raw. It's surprising because with our family and our partners, we kind of feel like they're going to be in our lives forever. And there's a little part of us that's like, maybe that's not exactly what we're doing. And we'll get into that a little bit more as we go on. on. But what I want to remind everyone, this is transformation. It might feel dark. It's just not as dark as it seems. It's a shedding process. It's a cocooning, just like a butterfly, where the old must fall away to make room for something that's much more authentic, much more aligned with our true selves as we emerge and come to our next evolution. So let's just take a minute and talk about what's dissolving in your life right now. Is it a relationship? Is it a job? Is it an old habit that you thought was something healthy, but it's really not? Or maybe it is healthy and it just doesn't feel right anymore. Like maybe you were a long distance marathon runner and your body is starting to tell you, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to dance. So it doesn't just have to be a relationship or your job. It can be a belief. It might be a belief that you held on to for a long, long time, something maybe you were taught. Maybe it's your religion. Maybe it's politics. And maybe there's a piece of you that's starting to feel like that doesn't resonate anymore. So maybe the things that once felt like your source of stability are now crumbling beneath you. But I really want you to see that this is the universe just totally making space for the next phase of your growth. Because the truth is, nothing is ever truly permanent. You weren't meant to stay in these same old situations forever. You're being led to something that is more aligned with who you are at a soul level. This is way deeper than we can even imagine. And it doesn't come without a bunch of discomfort and shedding of the past. So it's really important that we trust that this is making room for something better, something more authentic. Trust is hard, right? We've talked about this in other episodes. It's really important to just trust and to tune into your gut. So I haven't reminded you in a while, but if you don't have your journal, just go ahead and pause it. If you're driving, you can always come back to this. You can go to the show notes. You can get on my email list because after the shows, I send out a blog and it's basically just a recap with all the journal questions and all the affirmations plopped right into a blog. And it's right on my website. There's also a little freebie over there that's a transformational and self-discovery journal that you can sign up for. So I'd love to have you on my mailing list. Anyway, I digress. So this first question that I'm going to ask about shifting timelines is, what parts of your life need to dissolve to make space for your next most authentic chapter? What is calling you forward? What parts of your life need to dissolve, to disappear, to make space for your next most authentic chapter? What is calling you forward? We've talked about this before. I've talked about my flight attending, and I'm just getting ready to go into the summer flying schedule right now. And I also have to do my requalification, which is, we usually do it every year, but now we do it every 18 months. And that takes 3 days because now they want to send me to Denver to do that. And it's 8 hours of videos I have to watch. And then it's a little bit of study to make sure I understand the scenarios so that when I show up, I remember my commands and I know how to put out a fire and all the things. But that takes a lot of time away. And I just looked at the calendar. I'm like, oh my God, it's time to bid again because it's almost time to bid for June, which is another like 5 to 8 hours of my life. And I actually have to fly this month. So I'm kind of in a whirlwind schedule, packed in with my other obligations. And I am just sort of feeling that remembrance of that part of my life dissolving. Being a flight attendant is dissolving, that I'm coming to the end of the journey and I can continue to do it for as long as I like. But there's a part of me that's already knows, that's already anxious, that's already ready, that's saying, let's just get on with it. I know what's waiting for me when that's done and pieces of it are already happening, but there's a little antsiness, right? So that's something in my life that needs to dissolve. What parts of your life need to dissolve to make space for your next most authentic chapter? What is calling you forward? So these friends that I have that are in these long-term relationships that have decided to go separate ways, they're feeling this a lot, right? Because when we're in relationship, we are conditioned by society, by the world we live in, to partner for life, and that's what we're supposed to be doing here. But that's not always what's happening, because as we begin to grow and emerge and move into our higher self, into our more aligned frequencies, I don't really want to say higher self, but it is a different frequency that puts us into a more loving, caring, compassionate, peaceful, way. I mean, I don't know all the way again how to describe it, but what we're moving towards is that kind of a life that's more of a collective, kind of kumbaya energy. And as we move towards that, we have to let go of the old, and not everybody's experiencing their evolution at the same pace. So it causes us to disconnect from each other. We're also going to talk about soul contracts a little bit. And some of those things are just contracts we made to learn certain lessons, and then we move on from them. So let's keep moving forward. The next part is this process of surrender, of becoming comfortable with, I've been saying, surrendering to remember, letting go so that you can begin to remember who you are. So when I talk about moving to our higher frequency, it's really just moving back to our truth. What happens is we come onto the planet and we're a pretty pure soul, and we have all this wisdom and knowledge that comes with us in our soul. And when we chose this life on the planet, the belief is that we chose to forget all of our innate wisdom, and that our purpose here is to remember our power. So when we're talking about Christ consciousness, and a lot of people aren't religious, right? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm religious, but I do find this understanding of Christ consciousness, which is like the light within, your godlike self within, your greatest strength, your sheer confidence. There would be in a Christ consciousness or a higher awakening or a higher frequency, there would be no imposter syndrome or wondering if I was good enough to do something. I would just know in my soul it was what I was supposed to do, and I would take a chance. I would be living without fear, and I would have the intention that I would be serving the greater good. So surrendering, there's a huge process here, and it's just letting go, surrendering. These are sometimes big words or big ideas, and they're not easy. But right now, this is where the magic is happening. So why not? You could take it in little bits. You've got to release what no longer serves you. Like I said, those relationships, the job, the habits, the beliefs that once felt like security blankets, but are actually holding you back. And on some level, your soul knows that they are, and your spirit is calling you to step into something that is more synchronistic, more aligned. But your ego might be holding on tight to the old ways. I know the pull to hold on to what's familiar, but listen, when you surrender, you create space for something so much greater. I want to remind you that letting go is not a loss. Even though we do have a bit of that feeling of grieving, it's actually an invitation. It's a gold-lined invitation. It's an invitation to step into the next chapter of your life. You're just releasing that old skin, shedding it off. You are just shedding the skin of who you thought you were to become who you truly are. You have the power to release what no longer serves your highest good, what doesn't feel good. I mean, these are like woo words, and I guess being a child of the 70s, this use of the word woo is something that kind of amuses me because we didn't use woo. We were in the age of Aquarius when I was born, and we're in the age of Aquarius now. And it's like hippies, love, peace, love, and, rock and roll. But some of these words may seem unfamiliar to people, and they might seem sort of uncomfortable, but you do have the power to release what no longer serves that highest good. And really, the highest good is just what feels good to you, what makes you bliss out, what makes you smile, what makes you feel joyful, what makes your gut say, hell yes, let's do this thing. Or it can also be what makes your gut say, hell no, and then you set a boundary and move the other way, right? So you are in control of your own transformation. I mean, we were talking about this today in my yoga class. I don't plan my yoga classes. I just show up and I feel the energy of the group, and then my mouth opens and I talk. And today, what came up was being sovereign, having your own internal gauge, your own trust system, your own belief system, not looking to a guru, not looking to a coach, not looking to a teacher, but receiving, like I said, don't not show up to my class, but it's it's like a collective, again, a collective energy. When my class shows up, I'm guiding them. And what I was saying to them today was, I'm going to share with you the breath and I'm going to share with you the asanas and the movements, but you're going to tune into your gut and you're going to ask yourself, what do I need right now? How deep do I need to go? How much do I need to breathe right now? Does my body actually want to do any of this? Do I just want to lay here? Do I want to be playful today? Really experiencing this sovereign energy and knowing that you're your own best guide, your own best healer. And we look to the outside a lot, right? We look to the news for our politics and we look to Hollywood for entertainment and we look to our friends for advice and we go to counselors and we go to doctors and we do all the things, and all of those things have their place in sharing wisdom with us, or not sharing wisdom necessarily, sharing knowledge with us, because knowledge and wisdom are different. Knowledge is something that someone knows or that is to be known, and we absorb the information. Wisdom is when we actually take that knowledge, we internalize it, we decide what bits of it are important and useful for us, and then we live it, and that becomes our wisdom. And then hopefully we share that. I love that. When you surrender to the process, you're stepping into your most empowered self. All right. Sovereign energy. What is it time to release in your life? This is a journal question. What is it time to release in your life? What old attachments are you ready to let go of so you can fully step into your true power? What is it time to release in your life? What old attachments are you ready to let go of so you can step fully into your true power? When you step into this power, when you reclaim your authenticity, you are right where you need to be. So you've let go. The question is, what do you do now? It's time to step back into what you've been neglecting. Those dreams that you have sequestered to the back room of your life, waiting for your full attention. It's time to claim your authentic power and step into what you've been too afraid to embrace until now. A good example is episode 15. I gave a big, long one about writing the book, The Men We Meet. And I talked a little bit about what happened after I wrote that book around approval and around judgment. And when I wrote that book, because of the approval and a judgment that came to me, I stepped away from my writing. And I've had a journal since I could hold a pencil, and I've written thoughts and poems and journaled my travels and my relationships and my pains through the loss of my dad. I have journaled everything, and I've always written stories. So I have all of that going on. And after I wrote the book, The Men We Meet, and I had that judgment and approval issues, I stepped away from writing for a really long time. And what happened was years went by, and then I kind of started picking up the pen just for myself, doing like morning pages where I would just kind of free flow journal. And then I started realizing that soul of a writer, I described my soul as being a writer and a dancer and a mermaid. And that soul of the writer that lives within me, it's not all of me, but it's a huge part of me. It's a huge way I express. It was crying. It was crying out. And I didn't really know that's what it was. Same with the dancer in me. Like right now, the dancer in me is like screaming. Every morning I wake up and I hear this voice telling me, you need to write, you need to dance, and you need to be around music to shift your frequency. And I am diving more deeply into that, but it took me a long time to write again. So when I'm talking about reclaiming the things that you put on the back burner, there are some things that I don't know what they are for you, but like I said, for me, it was writing, it was dancing. Sometimes it's just socializing with the people who I really love, making time for things, making time for nature, whatever it is. You just want to bring that back into your life, or maybe you want to explore something absolutely new. Like I've always wanted to play the guitar, and I've always wanted to speak Spanish and French fluently. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off unless I move somewhere. But just remember to reclaim what is calling to you, what innately lives in your soul. Listen to those little whispers. Listen to your heart when it perks up. Maybe it sees somebody playing pickleball and you're like, wow, my heart really wants to do that. Well, get in a clinic. You know how many new friends you're going to meet if you take a class? I met all new friends when I took a pickleball class. When I got divorced, I met all new friends playing volleyball through a meetup group. It's really important to just kind of throw yourself into things that you think you might enjoy. And if you don't enjoy it, then stop and pick something new. So after releasing the old, you're really opening yourself to a space that is clear, it's aligned, it's ready for your true calling. That intuitive voice inside of you, that one that's been whispering your dreams and your desires, it's time to just listen to it, as I said, and trust that it's guiding you to exactly what you need. And I just want to say here that we don't figure out our purpose or our destiny all in one moment. Some people have epiphanies and some people know. But usually what happens is we start taking small steps towards these things we love. And then what happens is we find new people coming into our life. I have this event that's happening on May 20th, and it's with my E-Women group, which is my professional women's organization. It's absolutely amazing. I love it so much. I'm just getting started with them. And it's a professional group, but they're the funnest people. So it's super social, but it's professional at the same time. And it's just another collective of women, like my Bold Action Collective with podcasting. It's just another collective of women that is totally lighting a fire. But I want a seat to sit at the CEO's table. She's coming to visit us in Santa Barbara and give a talk. And somehow I want a seat to sit at her table. And I just mentioned this because I don't know what that's going to lead to, if it's going to lead to anything. But I know that last year when I went to an AI talk, because my partner was hosting it and he asked me if I would come. When I went to that, I met my AI and speaking coach, Deborah. She's also now a really good friend. And the first thing she said to me, well, not the first thing, but about a month later, she said, you know what, I'm going to join this E-Women group and I feel like I'm going to move to Santa Barbara, which now she's moved to Ventura, which is close. And she said, I'm going to join this E-Women group and I think you should too. And I was like, huh, what? Okay. And I'm just saying, when things start to align, they happen very quickly. Not only did I meet Deborah, I also met the person who runs our local chapter as well, and Julie. And we ended up having a phone call and talking for 2 hours. And I could feel it all falling into place like dominoes. I touched the first domino and it touched the next domino, and the next domino fell, and the next domino fell, and the connections began to happen. And it was so amazing. And it just continues to flow. So the point is, we don't know. We don't have all of the answers. We just keep stepping forward into what feels aligned. I've used the word aligned a lot, but it's kind of where we need to be. So my friend Michelle Carlin would love that. Her business is alignment advising. She's also just a new CEO of a chamber in Gilroy. So congrats, Michelle, if you're listening. So anyway, the big deal about all of this is that this is the return to the feminine energy. That's the key here. The feminine energy is receptive, it's intuitive, it's able to flow with the rhythms of life. We, as I said, are in the age of Aquarius. We just stepped out of some really massive, aggressive energy for lots of years. It's very masculine dominated warrior type energy. And women have been playing this masculine role in relationships, in business for years because we've kind of had to fight to get ahead. But those times are over. Our way that we will find our power is through the fluidity, through the ease. Like I said, it's receptive, it's intuitive, it's able to flow with the rhythms of life. We don't have to use control and manipulation anymore. When we lean into this energy, we unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and a greater connection to our authenticity. We step into our power, not through force, but through flow. So it's time to reclaim what's yours. Step back into your authentic power. The life you've always known was waiting for you is ready to unfold. Get that journal out. Here we go. What part of your authentic self have you neglected? What part of your authentic self have you neglected? How can you begin to embrace it and allow it to lead you forward? How can you embrace that neglected part of yourself and allow it to lead you forward with ease. You can add that in with ease, always with ease. So surrendering to this flow of life, it's just imagine surrendering fully to the flow of life. What if you just let go of all of that resistance and all of that control and just began to trust that the universe has your back, that your soul already knows what it wants, where it's going, and how powerful it is, that your mind is full of every thought and every solution that you ever needed. What if the path ahead is already mapped out for you and all you have to do is just walk towards it in faith? Surrender isn't about giving up that control. It's about releasing the illusion of control. It's about trusting that the universe is guiding you exactly where you need to be. And I don't know if I even want to say the universe anymore. I don't think it's the universe. I think we're part of a universal collective, but I think it's the light inside of you. It's the light and the love inside of you guiding you exactly where you need to be. Remember, it's surrendering to remember who you are. Even if you can't see it yet, when we surrender, we free ourselves to receive everything that we have ever wanted and everything that's waiting for us. This feminine energy teaches us how to trust the process, right? We're not the driving force. We're just kicking back, taking action, trusting our gut, feeling what feels good, and trusting the process. It asks us to be soft, to be open, to be receptive to what's coming. When we lean into this energy, we allow life to support us in ways that we never could have imagined. Are you ready to trust the flow of life? To surrender to the process, to let go of what's no longer serving you? Your heart and soul and spirit is waiting for you to make space for your most authentic and empowered self. So here's just a quick review of the journal prompts. What do you need to let go of that no longer aligns with who you're becoming? What has been calling you that you've been neglecting or avoiding? What has been calling you that you've been neglecting or avoiding? How can you step back into your authentic self today? Today, what small step can you take today? What is one little thing you can do to embrace your true power today? What do you need to release in order to receive the blessings that are coming your way? What do you need to release in order to receive all of the blessings that are coming your way? They're not just coming your way, they're just waiting for you. Like they're waiting at the end of the path and you just have to kind of keep walking towards them, but they're literally already there for you. Just own them. Just grab them 100%. All right. So there you have it, Soul Sister. We've dived deep into the shift, the shedding, and the incredible transformation that's unfolding right now. I hope you feel empowered to trust the process and to lean into the change, knowing it's guiding you towards your highest, most authentic self. Remember, you are not alone in this. Your internal compass, your sovereignty, your heart, your soul, your spirit has your back. Every step you take brings you closer to the life that you are dreaming of. I just want to say that I am always open for a conversation. I am also here in the collective on my journey of transformation, empowerment, and authenticity. I would love feedback from you. I would love comments on the YouTube channel. I would love an email from you. You can pop onto my website and send me a note or on my socials. You can find everything on my website. Before you go, don't forget to head over there and grab your free journal for transformation and self-discovery. It's packed with prompts to help you dive deeper into your personal evolution. While you're there, make sure to read the latest blog, join the mailing list, and stay connected to our amazing community. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. And next week, speaking of what's coming next, we are continuing this journey by diving into the balance of masculine and feminine energy and a little bit of the evolution of that and what that means, how we can level up our relationships with softness instead of control. This is going to be transformational, so make sure you tune on in. And before you leave, don't forget to hit that follow or subscribe button, leave a 5-star review, and share the show with a friend. It means the world to me to have your support and to help us grow as a beautiful community and as individual spirits walking this path together. We're so lucky to be here together at this time. Thanks again. I appreciate you so much. And until then, just keep on shining, keep trusting, keep stepping into your authentic power. I know you've got this. And if you need any support, you just reach out and let me know. I am happy to have a cuppa and a conversation with you. Thanks so much.